Early one morning a young man was walking through a scrapyard. The remains of once mighty steam engines now stood silent and still. "Oh dear, now I am lost. If you're looking for a way out, there's one over by those saddle tanks." "Where's that?" "Over here." He walked closer to the voice. "Hello, hello. Who are you?" "My name's Matthew." "And you are?" "Oh, my name's Edward." "Edward? That's a nice name. I used to know an Edward. What are you doing here?" "Like all the other engines in this place, I'm awaiting my fate. The cutter's torch." "What a shame. You look like you're in good condition." "I am. I only just had an overhaul 5 months ago. So, Matthew, tell me about yourself, your life." "Oh, you wouldn't want to hear an old engine's tale." "Oh, please." "Well, it might be the last time I see anyone for a while." "Oh, I suppose so." "I am a Holmes J83. I was built in 1900 for the North British Railway. I was the first of my class, and first out the workshop. I was given my name after my designer, Matthew Holmes. I worked for the NBR for 23 years until the forming of the LMER. Oh, those were the days. The A1s and the A4s, the named expresses. But then the war came, and that's when everything began to change. After the war ended, everything went back to the old ways for a short while. But then it happened. British Railways took over. Suddenly diesels began to appear. Some looked like boxes on wheels. Others were big, large, shiny and modern. Soon steam engines began to line the sidings. First tank engines, then the bigger tender engines. I was one of the lucky ones. I got to do the work that the diesels wouldn't do. So here I am, awaiting my fate. Thank you for that, Matthew. I think I've made up my mind." "Made up your mind? About what?" "Over here, lads. I wonder what these men want." "Excuse me, sir, but the foreman wants to see you." "Very well. Goodbye, Matthew." "Goodbye, Edward. It was nice talking to you."
Is this the one?
"Yep. All right, let's get this done. Once we're done here, I'm off for a pint at the pub." As they began to climb all over him, a lone tear ran down his cheeks, and he closed his eyes. Suddenly, a man's voice shouted across the yard. The men dropped their tools, packed up, and left. As Matthew opened his eyes, there stood Edward, with his hat in his hand and his hand on his buffer. "Hello again, old engine. I've just bought you. You're safe now. You can come to my railway and pull trains." "A railway?" "Yes, I owned a preserved railway. There's plenty of work for you, and you'll never be bored." "Oh, thank you, Edward. I don't know how to thank you enough." "Well, I suppose a little bit of work wouldn't do. You'll make a fine addition to my railway. By the way, my name is Mr. Edward Richmond." And so, during the night, an engine came, buffered up to him and slowly took him away. It was early the next morning when they stopped, and Matthew was shunted into a shed. As he awoke, he could see engines moving about, shunting and pulling coaches and trucks. A man was climbing over him, examining all his parts. The man hopped down, packed up his things, and left. A short while later, Mr. Richmond walked into the shed. "Good morning." "Good morning. Who was that man climbing over me earlier?" "That was an inspector. He was looking over you to see what sort of condition you were in. From this it seems you were in very good condition." "Well, I did only have an overhaul just before they took me out of service and scrapped me." "Well, you won't have to worry about that here. All my engines are kept in tip-top shape with the best coal and water. There's a firelighter coming soon, and he'll have you in steam in no time." "Oh, thank you, sir." And as Mr. Richmond walked away, Matthew closed his eyes and felt happier than he ever had in years.